शिल्पा हो मग आता जॉईन करायलेत ना ते काय 11 जण झालेत. हां 5 मिनटं वेट करू. सरांना गुड आफ्टरनून विश करून घे. हो 11 जण जॉईन झाले. फक्त 15 मिनटं.
Good afternoon, everyone. We have our special guest with us, Dr. AMOL CHAVHAN, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, madam. Good afternoon.
So we will wait for 5 minutes. After that, we will start.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
झाले 41. या लवकर.
डोंगरे मॅडम.
Yes, sir.
Shall we start?
Okay, sir. करो कुछ ऐसा. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, madam.
करो कुछ ऐसा देश का सम्मान बढ़ जाए. करो कुछ ऐसा देश का सम्मान बढ़ जाए. मरो तो ऐसा तिरंगे की शान बढ़ जाए. भरो पिचकारी ऐसे तीनों की, तन पर पड़े तो हिंदुस्तान बन जाए. तन पर पड़े तो हिंदुस्तान बन जाए. Very good afternoon to one and all joined here. I am Dr. Shilpa Rani Dongre, privileged to host the Constitution Day event held by the PATIL Law College, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. First, I would like to greet all of you a very happy Constitution Day. We have joined here to celebrate the adoption of the Constitution of India, the foundational document of the world's largest democracy. I am very glad to be the part of this occasion. Being born as an Indian is blessing, and the Constitution Day is such an occasion to celebrate this blessing. According to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Constitution is not a mere lawyer's document. It is a vehicle of life, and its spirit is always the spirit of age. Let me extend a warm welcome to our join our celebration. I am very pleased to see so many of you in this event. I am even more encouraged by the presence of so many participants. Initially, it's my pleasure to welcome you all. I am honored to welcome esteemed chief guest as well as resource person, Dr. AMOL CHAVHAN sir, the Associate Professor of Law, the National Law University and the Judicial Academy, Guwahati, ASAM, management, principal, professors and of our college, the non-teaching staff, and foremost importantly, all the participants join here. Thank you, sir, and everyone for giving us your precious time. First of all, I would like to invite Arya Patil, a beautiful and versatile student of our student, to read the preamble of the Constitution of India. Arya.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm audible. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, Arya.
Yes. I'll proceed with the preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political liberty of thoughts, expressions, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them to all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and to unity of the nation, in our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. Thank you.
Thank you, Arya.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
It's being India's culture to start good things by singing a song. So I would like to invite the student of our college, Anjali Bagare, to sing a song on the Constitution. Anjali?
Yes, ma'am.
You can start, Anjali. You are audible.
Okay, ma'am. 2 वर्ष 11 महिने 18 दिस किती सोचल अभिमान पावाच्या तुकड्यावर काढले दिस तरी थकला ना कामान साथरमाची बुद्ध दमाचं मिळालं वरदान हरपुन भाण जीवाचं करून रण लिहिलं संविधान. हरपुन भाण जीवाचं करून रण लिहिलं संविधान. कुणाची मिळाली ना साथ, आजवर झाला हो आघात.
चालू आहे बरं का.
पुस्तकास वे काढली रात, दिव्याखाली झोपली माझी जात. दिव्याखाली झोपली माझी जात. रक्ताच नवत नात, पेटविली आयुष्यात वात. मायेनं भरवला तो घास, शिजलं नाही जरी घरात. शिजलं नाही जरी घरात. डोळ्याचे पाणी सांगते वाणी थोरते योगदान. हरपुन भाण जीवाचं करून रण लिहिलं संविधान. हरपुन भाण जीवाचं करून रण लिहिलं संविधान. कुणाचे दुःख कुणा कळते, भीमविना रमा तळमळते. दुःखाच्या अग्नीमध्ये जळते, ऐकताच रक्त सळसळते. ऐकताच रक्त सळसळते. निभावली रमा बंधनाला, करुणी बुद्ध वंदनाला. भीमाची वाट किती पाहिली, गेले होते भीम परदेशाला. गेले होते भीम परदेशाला. त्या अनुयायीनं घाई घाईनं करुणी मतदान. हो, हरपुन भाण जीवाचं करुणी रण लिहिलं संविधान. हरपुन भाण जीवाचं करुणी रण लिहिलं संविधान. 2 वर्ष 11 महिने 18 दिस, किती सोसल भीमान. पावाच्या तुकड्यावर काढले दिस, तरी थकला ना कामान. सातरमाची बुद्ध धमाचं मिळालं वरदान. हरपुन भाण जीवाचं करून रण लिहिलं संविधान. हरपुन भाण जीवाचं करून रण लिहिलं संविधान. थँक्यू मॅम. थँक्यू सर.
Thank you, Anjali, for such a melodious, heart-touching and beautiful song. Thank you so much. Now it's time for a principal's keynote address. A ray of light is a ray of hope. Let's all leave the darkness and step towards such bright path. With that being said, I would like to invite our principal, Dr. Nital Nandedkar, Madam, to deliver a keynote address. Madam, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Dongre Madam. Respected chief guest of today's program, Dr. CHAVHAN sir, respected teachers and my dear student, good afternoon one and all. On this Constitution Day, we gather to celebrate the foundation of our nation's guiding document, the Constitution of India. It is a day of reflection and relevance for principles that have shaped our democracy. Our Constitution, adopted on this day in 1950, embodies the aspiration and dreams of diverse nation. It guarantees fundamental rights, ensures justice, equality and liberty for all citizens. As law student, it is crucial to recognize the significance of the law framework that governs our society. My dear students, the preamble of our Constitution speaks of justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. It serves as a constant reminder of values we hold here. It is our responsibility as future legal professionals to uphold and protect these principles in pursuit of a just, harmonious society. In the world that is ever changing, the Constitution stands as a resilient beacon, adapting to the evolving needs of the society. As a student of law, let us pledge to study, understand and respect the Constitution. Let us strive to become guardian of the justice and defender of the rights enriched within its pages. On this Constitution Day, let us renew our commitment to the ideals that bind us together as a nation. May the knowledge we gain within these walls empower us to contribute positively to legal landscape and it turns strengthen the foundation of our great democracy. Finally, I would like to wish you all a very happy Constitution Day and extend my great thanks to Professor Dr. Chauhan sir that in a short span of a time he has agreed to accept our invitation and ready to guide us. Thank you one and all. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, madam. We acknowledge your hard work and commitments for our college. Now, I would like to invite Siddhi Kandhari, a scholar student of ours to the college, to introduce our guest of honor, Dr. AMOL CHAVHAN, sir. Siddhi?
Yes. Good afternoon, Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Amol Dev Chavan sir, respected Principal Dr. Nidal Nanderkar ma'am, and all respected dignitaries and my dear friends. It's my pleasure to introduce our guest of honor. Our chief guest for today's function is noted personality in legal fraternity. Honorable Sir is Associated Professor of Law in National Law College, University and Judicial Academy, Guwahati, Assam. He has completed his graduation from Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University, Amravati in 2003. He obtained his Bachelor of Laws degree from the same university in 2006 and stood fifth in university merit. He secured his Masters of Law from Department of Law, SGBAU Amravati in 2008 in branch of criminal law. His PhD degree was awarded for his work in field of law on the prominent aspect of negligence entitled Critical Study of Negligence with special reference to medical negligence during treatment in light of judicial decision. He has been enrolled himself as an advocate in the year 2006 in Amravati district. He has pursued more than 10 years of teaching experience. He is recognized as PG teacher and PG dissertation guide in MP Law College. He was rector of boys hostel at MP Law College. He has held various positions as founder, president and Brilliance Lawyer Club Akola. He was secretary of student council at Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University and also college representative for cultural program in Fulsing Nayak Mahavidyalaya, Fusad in 2002 to 2003. He has been president of Law Society PGTD of Law Amravati University. He stood fifth in rank merit at Amravati University in LLB. He has administrated contribution in various fields such as he was chief superintendent of various university examinations such as MPSC exam, law exam, BAMU exams. He has worked as post coordinator of different certified courses which has been held by colleges. He was adjudged as memorial evaluator in the 4th annual capacity building moot court competition organized by Moot Court Committee of National Law University and Judicial Academy, Assam. He has worked as NSS officer in charge of electoral roll. He has published near about 25 papers in various reputed national and international journals. He has attended 28 national and international conferences and seminars. Even he has attended various training programs and also he has attended various arranged 5 residential NSS camp in various parts of Aurangabad district. His interview with media was taken by Akashvani Aurangabad radio talk on introduction of Constitution of India. He was guest lecturer for department exam of PSI Commissioner Officer Aurangabad. He is in charge of PG diploma course from 2012 till date. We welcome you, sir, on behalf of our management, staff and students of our college.
Thank you, Sangeeta, for the beautiful introduction. So, madam, shall we start?
Yes, sir. Now I honored to invite Dr. Amol Chavan,
thank you, madam.
And resource person to share his views and guide us on the occasion of Constitution Day. Sir, over to you.
Yes. Okay. So, respected Principal Madam Nandekar and the Shilpa Rani Madam, Sheikh Madam, and all the students participated in this particular virtual platform to discuss rather the concept of Constitution. So, friends, I'm not going to deliver the particular lecture what our teachers used to do in our regular classes. So today I will focus on the one particular area where I think that the particular area is need to be considered by the law students as well as by the common people also. So before going to the lecture, I think there are so many people who raise the hands. So I request you have a chance to raise the hand after the discussion is over. So please give me a 1 minute. I will share my PPT. Okay.
काय कोणी तिकडे
The participant who have raised their hand, please lower down hand, and I request the participant, do not switch on your cameras. Please do not switch on your cameras. As you are not in the uniforms, you are sitting in the home, switch off your cameras. Just wait for a minute. Sir will join us with us. He is trying to share his PPT.
नाही नाही सर चालू आहे ना तुमचाच आहे तुमच्या याच्यावर जे पाठवलं होतं ना मी
अरे आना लक्ष्मण ये लक्ष्मण जल्दी आ मेरा हो गया गोपाल जन्नदासी को मारा गया
Sumit, switch off your mic.
So I'm sorry, because of some technical glitch, I lost my connection. So give me a 1 minute. I share my PPT.
Yes, sir.
Hope my PPT is visible to you all.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yes, yes. So, friends, today we will try to understand the concept of the gender identity under the constitutional provisions, or under the Constitution of India. As we are celebrating the Constitution Day, and this particular the basic document of our country provides the mechanism, the mannerism, and the vast categories of rights and duties to our citizens. But still, that is when we completed almost 75 years of the our independence, and still we are that is trying hard to get the identity issues. More particularly, when we talk about the identity issues in pertaining to the genders, more particularly the transgender, the heterosexual, and the LGBT, and the other another communities, as our Constitution of India provides the rights and the duties to the person, but when we are not supposed to accept these particular categories of the people within the bracket or within the definition of the person, so the question is remains, so what is the use and what is the utility of this particular constitutional provisions? But our the constitutional maker or the fathers of the constitutions provide very beautifully, very that is what we called as a very scientifically, the way where this all people's rights is to be protected under the law. So in this particular 30 to 35 minutes, I will convey my concern with the gender identity issues into the India. And afterward, the session is open for the discussion, deliberation, and your opinions and feedbacks. So this is the part where we will discuss this particular thing. So we'll start with, when we talk about the gender, or when we talk about the concept of the person, our Constitution of India provides the rights, that is fundamental rights and the other categories of the rights, to the individual or to the person. So when we talk about the person, so it is normally came in our mind that is a person includes what we learn under the IPC, what we learn under the another definitions given under the various laws. So what we understand prima facie, that is the person or the gender is equal to the male or the female. But only the considering the male or the female, so far the gender is concerned, so it is a very narrow kind of the definition or narrow kind of the meaning which we normally take into consideration at the time of interpreting that particular law. So when I used to teach the IPC, so many a time the student asked to me, sir, what about the transgenders and the other people? Because there is the concept, or this particular act provides the mechanism for the male and female only. So there are some offenses where the man is specifically used, where the women is specifically used. So considering that, as you know, that the new law is going to be introduced in India, and by the time we will get the exhaustive definitions of this particular the gender issues. But anyway, considering the status of the gender, the concept of the gender is not related only with the male or only with the female. So it goes beyond that, what it includes the heterosexual people, the transgender people, the bisexuals, the lesbian, the gays, and the other categories of the people where they having some different identity. So we need to understand this particular concept in the context of the Constitution of India. That is, we have the two notions to understand. First, that is what we called as a sex under the law, and secondly, what gender it means, and how this particular Constitution of India provides the protection to all the peoples, including the people having the different identity of their gender or the different identity of their sex. So considering that, I will try to match this particular gap by way of this particular deliberation. Now, as you know, so far the Maharashtra is concerned that we have so many categories of the people who are living in the society, and still they are struggling for their rights, for their the basic rights rather. So they are struggling for getting the human rights, they are struggling for getting the constitutional right, they are struggling for getting the justice from the stakeholders of the state. So basically, in Maharashtra or throughout these are the names what we called in the state of Maharashtra, but there are so many other names which is identified or which is associated with this particular categories of the people. So what we called as an Hijra or the Kinnar or the Jogpas and the Khusras and the Shiv Shakti and so on. So these categories of the people, these categories of the community is what we called or what we known as a transgender, though specifically these all communities are not within the definition and purview of this particular transgender, though we have so many definitions of the transgenders. But this particular community, what we this particular communities, we overall or by way of the perceptions or by way of our understanding, we see that these particular people are within the definition of this particular categories, and these particular people experiences so many hate, so many discriminations. As you know that when I visited in last month into the Aurangabad, so when I was in Aurangabad, so there was no signals. But what I observed, these particular categories of the peoples, their presence into the society is very high. So considering the Aurangabad region, so I came to know there are so many people who are wandering behind the streets, and they are asking for the money from this particular people. So what exactly the thought is that came into our mind when this particular people claim any single pie or something help from this particular the society? So the first reaction in our mind came, that is called as the hateful attitude towards these particular people. So why? Because we are not going to consider that they are the human beings. We are not going to consider that these peoples are also the part of the society, and these peoples are having the all rights, all sort of the rights, all kind of the rights which is guaranteed under the constitution. If there is a violations of your rights, so you will claim immediately from the court of law. And what about this particular people? Whenever any offense or any kind of the act is committed against to these people, so the thought came into my mind that there may be a chance of wrong on this part of this particular people. Why? Because we are not considering them as a human being. We are not identifying their gender as within that is the definitions of the gender. Now, if you go with the scenario, that is in a constitution is we can say that it is a 75 years old document, but it doesn't mean that so, because the principle of the constitution, if you go carefully with the part 3rd of the Constitution of India, which is based upon the Buddhism or the Buddhist philosophy, what we called as the rights which is guaranteed by our so-called the scholars at that time. So the identity issue or the identity of this particular persons or the position of this particular persons was in existence from the immemorable period. If you trace this particular the discrimination and the bias, so we cannot blame only to the laws, or we cannot blame to the constitutions only that these particular peoples are not included. Though if you read carefully and if you go with the what we call as a literal interpretation as well as the liberal interpretation of Constitution of India, then the constitutions provide the mechanism to deal with these particular peoples. But because of we are not going to accept these particular things. So anyway, so this particular the status or the gender identity crisis or the status of this particular people was existed from the period of Mahabharata, Ramayana, and the Mughal, British, and after the what we called as after India get the what we called as an independence. So if we divide this situation between the two parts, that is the first part till the India get that is independence, and second part after the independence. If you go with the first part, so the discrimination, hate, and this particular people is not considered as a human being from the Mahabharata or Ramayana or till till the independence of the India. if you go with the Mughal period, so you may come across various literature where these particular peoples are used to, that is, and confine, or they may be use. I deliberately use the word use. So these particular people may be used for the sexual pleasure, for the begging, for the household kind of the work, and for the what we called as the entertainment, and etc., etc. So these particular people, that is, and basically face the discrimination, hate, violence, and the stigma. And if you go with the second period, that is, an after the independence of India, 1947 afterwards, or we can say that 26 January 1950, after the introduction of the constitution. So we have the provisions of non-discrimination, that is the right to life, and so on. But the situation or the position of this particular people is not changed, or we can say that there is no drastic change in the position of this particular people, what they were experiencing during the period of, or during the that is, before the independence of the India. So the situation is the same. The only difference is that by way of recognizing the laws, by way of providing the mechanism solution through the constitutional provision, these particular peoples are now they are recognized as human beings. Now we need to understand what exactly these particular peoples, what exactly the meaning of the transgender. So we have so many definitions, we have so many literature, we have so many articles on it, where we can easily identify these particular people by way of their dress sense, by way of their way of talking, by way of their behavior, and by way of their appearance, and so on. But if we consider, yes, anybody having any question? Okay, anyway, so that is, there is a difference in the biological sex and the birth. So the by way of birth, the person may be as a male or female, but biologically the person is a male, or either in the case, if suppose biologically I am a male, but by way of the sex I am a male, but by way of the behavior I am a female. There is a difference between the gender identity and the gender, what we called as the biological gender, what the persons get after the birth. So by the birth, the persons get the biological gender. But after getting that biological gender, it doesn't mean that the person's having that particular kind of the sense, what we call the sensations. After that, the particular person's, the identity may be changed. If suppose I am a male, or if suppose I am a female, but my behavior, my way of talking, my representation in the society is reflect as a male. If I am a female, and it reflect through like as a male. If suppose I am a male, and if reflect as a woman, so this particular dilemma, this particular kind of the gap will lead towards to understand this particular transgenders. Now the difference of the sex at the birth and the difference of the identity having the two dimensions. So the identity of the person is go with the behavior of the persons into the society, and not necessarily the persons who having the particular category of the sex, that is male or the female, not necessarily the behavior of that male or the female is like the as per the sex which is assigned by the nature. So when there is a difference, when there is a conflict between the biological sex and your behavior, so the identity crashes will be arise. So wherever there is a conflict, so there are so many people, you might be heard on the newspaper, on the news, or you maybe read in the newspaper. So the one person was the male, after the surgery, that particular male is converted himself into the female, and vice versa. So why this particular thing is happened? Though the biologically they are male or the female, but by way of the behavior, they want to create their identity as per their perception, as per their behavior, and as per their sense. So accordingly, this particular what we call as this particular things is to be consider. Now considering the what is the status of the, I'm not going to read this particular definition because you know very well that is section 2K of the Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Act 92 2019 provides, that is the transgender means a person who does not match with the gender assigned to that person birth, includes the trans man or the trans woman. Simply we can say that whatever the sex identity which is assigned by nature, I am not going to accept it because that particular gender, that particular sex is not matched with my behavior. It is not matched with my the perception, my understanding, and what I personally feel in the given context. Now, so when we talk about the concept of personality, so we need to understand in the two way, as I know that you, many of you, that is, and you go with these particular things from in the jurisprudence and the another laws. So if you go with the two different ideologies to understand the personality or the person, so in normal aspect, what is our personality or what is our person, what we called as a person? So the individual difference in the characteristic pattern of thinking, feeling and behaving, what we understand. Suppose for example, I am the male and I get up myself as a female. So prima facie, I may look like as a female. So the perception of the society, they will consider me as a female. Suppose I am a female and my haircut, I make my haircut or my dress sense or my, that is the things which is, that is shows my personality. If I change into that, so though biologically I am a female, but identitally I am the male. So this normal aspect, what we understand as a male or the female by the appearance of the person. Once the person is appear before us, so we easily identify this is the male or this is the female or this is the transgender or this is the person who either having the different categories of the gender, if you are not able to identify the same. Now, if you go with the jurisprudence, so the jurisprudence, that is, if you go with the jurisprudentially, to the concept of personality, it includes the persons and the human beings. So we are not, that is going to discuss the first part. We concentrate on the human beings. So if you jurisprudentially, if you make the analysis of the concept of the personality, so the personality indicates the identity of all human beings, and the identity of that particular all human beings. Not only that, it includes the enjoyment of rights and duties. So when we come with the rights, duties of the human being, so we are not here to make the discrimination between the two individuals basing on the sex or basing on the gender identity, what the jurisprudence says. But in normal perception, we try to understand the concept of the sex or the gender basing on the perception, basing on our understanding. Now, if you go with this argument into the jurisprudence, that is the personality or the persons means it includes the all human being who having the rights and capable of the rights. So then again, if you go with this, so then again there may be two kind of the persons we have, what we learn under the jurisprudence, that is natural person or the all human beings, and the legal and the artificial persons or the juristic persons. So the natural persons includes the person from the womb. So if the person is in a mother womb, irrespective of the identity, irrespective of their sex assigned by the nature, the constitution and our laws protect the interest and rights of this particular person. So whenever the person, as you know, under the Hindu law and under the property laws, that is where the person is in the mother womb, so the person's rights should be protected from the very first day of that particular person's presence into the mother womb. So considering that, if suppose we are here to provide the protection, rights and duties to all human beings, irrespective whether the person is get birth or not. Now, if you concentrate on the definition given by the Salmon on the particular the person, so the person being that anyone that is who is capable of rights and who is bound by the legal duties. So capable of rights and bound by legal duty, we can only say in case of the human beings. So again, if you go with the careful scrutiny of this. Yes.
Sorry, sir.
Yes, don't be panic. I will complete within. I realize the pain that it is the Sunday and you are on the online, and I really appreciate your efforts. But क्या करें? गवर्नमेंट ने भेजा है सेलिब्रेट करना है, हमें करना ही पड़ेगा ना.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
हाँ, thank you very much. I realize. Okay, so I will conclude within 10 minutes. So again, the Salman says it is a capable of rights and it is bound by the legal duties. So whenever there is a rights and a duties, so rights and duties is associated only with the human beings. So again, the jurisprudence, the basic philosophy did not make the difference between the gender or between the sex, as they says that is all human beings are equal. They having the rights guaranteed under the all laws. At the same time, they are bound by the legal duties. Now there are some definition which is given related with the person, what the Savigny says, what the Gray says, what the Austin says, and what section 11 of IPC says. If you go with this particular definition in a one short kind of the definition, so the person is nothing but or no one is within the person means a person who is a human being and who is a bearer of rights and who is bound by the duties, simply. Now, coming to the Constitution of India, if you carefully read the Constitution from preamble to the last part of the Constitution, so the entire mechanism of the Constitution is big and it provides the protection and the rights and the duties to the individuals or to the human beings. So if you go with part third, part fourth, and the other part of the Constitution, main focus, if you read that is part third, part fourth, along with the preamble of the Constitution of India, then it provides the mechanism of the justice, liberty, and so on to the every individual who is a citizen, non-citizen, including to the particular individual or to the particular human beings. If you go with Article 14, where it did not make any kind of the discrimination, no person, what the word used into the, that is an Article 14, 15, 16, 19, 21, that is no persons. What persons indicate? The persons means what the Salman says. The person means any human being who is a bearer of rights and bound by the duties. So if you make the interpretation of this particular, that is a constitutional provision with respect to the gender or with respect to the gender identity, then we realize that the entire mechanism of the Constitution of India provides the protection not only to the particular individual, but it provides the protection to the person. So the person includes all human beings, irrespective of any discrimination based on caste, sex, religion, place of birth, and the word use, that is the sex, it includes the gender identity also. If you stretch the word, though though we discussed that the sex is a biological phenomena which is assigned by the birth, and the gender is what the person's behavior. So though the sex word is there, but if you stretch that particular word in the context of the identity, so then we realize that irrespective of your identity, whether you are male or whether you are female, whether you are transgender, whether you are any identity, and if suppose you are the human beings, so the Constitution of India provides the mechanism to protect the rights of the individuals. So considering that these particular fundamental rights, if we concentrate on more particularly, or that is Article 14 and Article 19 of the Article 21 of the Constitution of India, where it provides the enjoyment of the life to all citizens, to all human beings, irrespective of any kind of the discrimination. It means it is clear that the constitutional mechanism did not deal with the identity crisis or the identity issues. Whereas the constitution, the mechanism or the mannerism and the setup of the constitutions provides the protections to all human beings irrespective of their any kind of the barriers related with the identity or the sex or caste or religion and so on. But considering that, if you go with the preamble and if you go with the preamble and the part fourth of the Constitution of India, if you, that is an very beautifully that one of the student read the preamble. Yes, anybody having any question? Okay.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes, please.
Myself, Apurva Chavan. I have a question.
Please.
That we saw everywhere, like even in TV serials or in real life, that this transgender people live in a different society, and they like ask for money in roads and traffics. Everyone saw that. Okay, so and many we didn't saw that they are working, or like us, like many people are lawyer, doctor, or police, and any of the profession. They are not seen many rarely we have might see in this 21st century. So my question is, why it is so that there doesn't we are not we can say we are not allowing them to educate them, to live like us, or it was like from historic period, ancient period, or it's by law or something. Why don't they live like us? Or maybe our society brainwash them that they should only beg for money, they can't be educated. So why it is so? And how can we change this?
Madam, your question is good. But if I give the single sentence answer that we the people of India is not allowing to this particular community to live like as a human being. Why it is so? Why it is so?
Yes, sir.
Why it is so? Because if you go with the Supreme Court judgments, if you go with the provision under the Constitution, if you go with the provision under the laws, so no law, no judgment, no constitutional provisions that is provide any kind of the prohibition to this particular people. I just ask you a small questions. Suppose, for example, if suppose I am a transgender and I am delivering the lecture on the in a today's platform, so what will be your first reaction before joining this particular lecture? What firstly it will come into your mind? छोड़ो यार, क्या करना है? ट्रांसजेंडर कहाँ कब से लेक्चर देने लग गए? हम ट्रांसजेंडर की सुनेंगे? अब इनको इतना ही काम बचा है? Why? I am not talking that this exactly the thought will come in your mind, but what our mindset or what we the people think about this particular, because if you go with the detailed study, then you will realize. I just give an example. Suppose, for example, some persons take the birth in my family and there is a gender crisis or the gender issues, and finally I came to know the person is a transgender. So as a parents, what will my first reaction? So the first reaction will be, अरे यार हमने तो बेटा मांगा था, चलो ठीक है भगवान बेटी दे देता तो ठीक था, लेकिन ना तो ये बेटी है ना तो बेटा है, अब इसके लिए हम क्या करें? So we try to abandon that particular child. If you go with the interviews, if you go with the stories, if you go with the literature available, so you rarely found any transgender who enjoy this particular childhood and all kind of the facilities from their families till they get the success. So their story shows that we are not. So what I am discussing from last 20 minutes, that is there is a crisis and there is a issue with the identity of the person. So we are not going to digest the identity issue of that particular person, because what is our perception in our mind? We recognize the people basing on the gender assigned by the nature, either male or female. That's it. So our mindset, our education system, our law, not law exactly, but the law implementation and the what we called as an in comma inverted comma sanskar. So these not allowed us to think out of the box. So that is one of the reasons. So as the constitution and there are some, we will discuss some judicial decision also, where the supreme, that is if you read the Nalsa or the Navtej Singh and the so many other cases where the Supreme Court come up with the broad interpretation of this particular gender crisis and the gender issues, and what they say is they all are human beings irrespective of their gender identity. Now again, India is still fighting for this particular gender identity issue in connection with the marriages. So the case is pending into the Supreme Court of India. So what the government says, no, we are not going to allow these particular categories of people to live a normal family life because our Sanskriti, our religion, our this and that is not permitted to this. But again, the question is same, whether we are treating them as a human being or whether treating as aliens. So they are not the aliens. They took the birth from the mother womb. They were in the mother womb for 9 months. So the gender, the gender which is assigned by the nature, it is not the fault of that particular person. It is the fault of the nature. So why these particular people will be suffer? Okay, now this is the first part of your answer, and now you just listen me for more 10 minutes, then you will get the another answer by of your questions. You getting my point?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes. You please listen carefully. I think that you are only the listener of this particular class. Okay. Very good. Now, as I told you, that is a NALSAS, that is a National Legal Services Authority versus Union of India, that is 15th April 2014. What the Supreme Court of India says, that is, transgender people, that is third gender, affirm that the fundamental rights guaranteed under the Constitution of India will be equally applicable to them. So it is clear. So law did not make the differentiation. Law did not make the difference between the biological sex and the identity crisis. So basically the Constitution of India provides the mechanism to provide the rights. What I told you, that is the person, the word which used into the Constitution, that is the persons indicates, that is all categories of the person. The only qualification is that the person must be within the definition of human beings. What is your sex? What is your identity? Doesn't matter. So this particular rights is applicable to them, equally them, that is, and they are the equal shareholder, equal stakeholder of this particular fundamental rights, and give them the rights to self-identification of their gender as a male, female, or the third gender. Now, here the Supreme Court says we are not the person, the state, or we are not the persons who decide the gender identity of the individual. Let it be decided by the individuals only. Suppose, for example, I am a male, but my feeling says me that I should live like as a female. So what's wrong in that? So who the government, who the police, who the authorities, who the society, who the family members will decide that I should live like as a male or the female? So it is me to decide my gender identity. So it is to me, I decide my self-identity. And if I decided my self-identity, so I am free to live with the identity which I personally feel it is fit for me. Now the Suresh Kumar Kaushal and the NAS Foundation's case, what I told you, that is it is also the same principle which is laid down by the Supreme Court of India. Now, moving further, now what is the status now? Now your second part, or the answer of your query. Now the legal recognition for the third gender, yes, we give some extent the legal recognition to the genders. That is, we recognize them as a transgender, we recognize them as the community, we recognize them as a human being, but still the fight is going on. But still the struggle is going on. They are still fighting for their identity issues, though it is provided by I just give an example. There are the provision under the IPC, the person who commit the rape shall be punished for this and that punishment, but the offense of rape is still existence. Why? Because the peoples are not going to accept this particular act is wrong, or it is offense, it is against to the morality, and so on. Likewise, though the gender identity is legally recognized, but we the people, we are not going to digest that these particular people also within the meaning of the human beings. We still think that these particular people are the aliens. Now, legal recognition for person that is within the male or female binary, they having socio-economical rights are given to them. Stigma and the public awareness is necessary, because still these particular people are enjoying, though the enjoyment is not the proper word. That is, they are sustaining their rights by way of through the stigma which is given by the society and the public health and sanitation. Now, the Constitution of India and the mechanism, the legal mechanism provides the prohibition of all kind of the discrimination. Yes, it is there. It is black and white mentioned into the Constitution and other laws. But in reality, picture is different. Educational establishment, yes, there is, as you know, that there is some reservation for the transgenders, but the peoples are not ready to disclose their identity. So many a time we came across as a teacher when we sit into the admission committee. So there is a special kind of the reservation provided for this particular people. So educational establishment, they are promoted, but still their presence is less. Employment, yes, they got the employment, but again, it is not what we call as it is not like as other human beings. Healthcare services, they are facing facility mean to public use, right to movement. Again, right to movement is the big issue. If you watch or if you notice any transgender who is on the roadside, so what is the behavior of this particular people against to that particular transgender, then you will notice. So what we think and what we consider, this is the kind of the things, not a human being, it is the things to enjoy. So this kind of and again the transgender having the rights to occupy the property and hold the public offices, etc., etc. Now these are the protections which we see in the context or in the under the umbrella of the Constitution of India. That is, I'm not going to discuss this. Now these are the international conventions. Now these are the things which is an experience by this particular transgender, what we called as discrimination, rights, education and resources, forced evictions. Yes.
Sir, I have a question. Sorry to ask you in the middle of the session.
Please wait for the 1 minute. 1 minute. I will give the answer of all of your queries. I just try to finish it. Okay. Please wait for 1 minute. Okay. Now this is a form of slavery, torture and victims. Now, where is the problem? Now, how we are, supposed to overcome this particular problem in the context of the Constitution of India, as we provides the mechanism and rights and duties. So, the main problem, or what I personally feel, now the answer is yours. So the knowledge gap, the capacity gap, the commitment gap, and the security gap, these are the gaps where this particular identity issue is not basically well tried, well sought by the so-called the government, or so-called the state, or so-called the public officers, whatever the name what we called. So there is a knowledge gap in the sense that we have the knowledge gap to understand the identity and the sex of the particular people in the context of the constitutional mechanism. And so far the capacity gap is concerned, these particular peoples are not able to cope up with or to manage this particular gap. And there is a lack of the commitment by the stakeholders who provides the protections to this particular people. And again, there is a big security gap, as you know, what going at the globe level pertaining to these particular communities, where this particular community is hated, tortured, maltreated, raped, and so many other brutal activities is committed against to these particular people if they come with their voices. So with that, I think I try my best to convey this particular message to you, the gender identity crisis. and in the context of the Constitution of India. So please, if you have any questions, now I am ready to answer it. Please go ahead. Yes, you please directly ask me. There is no need.
Sir, I
Yes,
was having
yes.
one question that more than educating people, even people are educated, they are discriminating on the basis of the sex and on the basis of their gender something. But if I think that in my point of view, I think that if people are known to humanity, they won't do it. So I think they should be learned to teach that humanity is more important. Then after that, I think education comes. So humanity should be taught priorly than education. I think like that. Is it
Yes,
okay?
yes, yes.
Thank you, sir.
Excuse me, sir. My question to you was, first of all, good afternoon. And
Good
my
afternoon.
question is, sir, as you have mentioned about the transgender throughout your lecture, my question is, what provisions does the Constitution provide for LGBTQ community? Because these are the
Yeah.
provisions regarding the transgender, but what about all the other communities?
So you are in you are in which year?
Sir, I'm the professor.
You are professor.
Yes, of English department, sir.
Okay. So sorry.
No,
So
sir.
if you read the Constitution of India, so the Constitution is not the document which is made for the particular categories of people. As I firstly told you in my starting of the lecture, that is the Constitution of India provides the rights, duties, liabilities, and each and every provisions to the citizens or to the human beings or to the person. So the person includes everyone. So the Constitution is not going to make the discrimination, because if you read the fundamental rights, or if you read the constitutional provision, so the word used, that is no discrimination basing on the sex, place, birth, and you might be add the identity also. So there is no separate, so far my knowledge is concerned. Maybe I am wrong. There may be some constitutional experts is there. So considering that, there is no specific provisions which provides the mechanism, but the overall provision of the constitutions provides the protections to the all human beings, irrespective of any kind of the discrimination basing on the gender or the sex. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. And sir, what is your
Yes, ma'am.
opinion on section 377?
You are asking the question in what sense?
Sir, gender rights.
Yes. So what the section 377 of IPC provides?
Sir, it is removal of gender discrimination on LGBTQI community.
I think it is
The marriage of two same gender people.
No. It did not talk about the marriage. No. It talk about the sex between the same sex the persons. So the decriminalization of this particular activities is no more. That is there is a provision that is this kind of the activity will not be considered as an offense anymore. So the LGBT community is allowed to having the sex with their partners irrespective of their gender. That's it. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Sir, there are some questions in comment box.
Okay.
Can I read it for you?
Yes. No, madam. I will go. Yes. Yes, Shri says, sir, what measures to be taken at the ground level, because in the city we can normalize this, but what about the villages? Yes, again, what I told you, there is a gap, that is a knowledge gap. Unless and until we understand unless and until we overcome this particular gap of the knowledge between the individuals, so we cannot come with the, see, this is not the problem which is only related in the village only. If you go in the cities, so the problem is still persist, and the problem which is faced into the cities is more kind of the more bitter experiences to the people who are living into the villages. So again, unless and until we set up our mindset to treat the person as a human being, if we discuss this particular issue in the context of the human right, so what the human rights provide, if you read the UDHR, what the Universal Declaration of Human Rights says, that is no discrimination. There are 32 articles speak about this particular thing. So these particular unless and until we recognize them as a human being, so this particular issue will not be settled, not into the city, not into the villages. So far and the second thing is that whenever any couple, what we call as a husband and wife, get the child who did not having the sexual identity, where the sexual identity is somewhat extent what we called as in a question. So these particular people are not accept this particular child as a normal child. So this particular kind of the set we need to develop. Second thing, merely making the laws. Yes, by the time that, as you know, at the globe level, there are so many laws which provides the protection to these particular communities. But merely making the laws or making the policy will not serve the purpose unless and until it is compulsorily observed in the sense of morality, in the sense of humanity. Unless and until it is observed, this particular problem will not be sorted out, because as you know, this particular problem is not that is came on the record from last few years. It is the problem from the ancestor and the ancient period, where this particular community is that is facing this particular kind of the problem. Yes, I think Yashasri, you get my answer. Yes. Yes, 370 talk about the unnatural. Yes, I know. Sangeeta madam, good afternoon. Okay, so my question is to you is why transgender are treated differently in different countries? If you compare to foreigner countries and in our country, why these are two big difference? Yes, again, the same difference is the same. So I just give an example. Why these particular foreigners are so different and why we are different. I just given a small, if you go with the sanitation or the kind of, जैसे कि अगर मुझे कचरा अगर फेंकना है इंडिया में, तो जहां सड़क दिखेगी, जहां मुझे दिखेगा वहां मैं फेंक दूंगा. लेकिन अगर यही आप फॉरेन कंट्री के लोगों को देखोगे तो they will put their garbage into the dustbin. Why? Because discipline is there, rules is there, mindset is there. They are love to their countries, they are love to their people. They are they obey the laws. They are what we call as they feel that it is our responsibility. इंडिया का पॉपुलेशन 140 करोड़ मोर है. ऐसे सर्कमस्टेंसेस में हाउ यू आर सपोज टू इनलाइटन ईच एंड एवरी पर्सन अबाउट दिस पर्टिकुलर इशू. सो फॉरेन कंट्रीज एंड अवर कंट्रीज में बहुत सारे डिफरेंसेस इसलिए होते हैं बिकॉज अवर कल्चर इज डिफरेंट, अवर माइंडसेट इज डिफरेंट, अवर थिंकिंग इज डिफरेंट, अवर एजुकेशन सिस्टम इज डिफरेंट, अवर सोशल structure is different. We are under the safe umbrella of our religious practices, customary practices, and so on. These particular, the teaching, preaching, the sanskar which is made on me from my birth to death, these particular things is not allowed me to think out of the box. I just give another example. Do you think that the caste system in India is abolished? Or the untouchability is abolished? No, it is there, but the practices are different. Because why we are not abolishing this particular thing? Though law abolishes it, though the constitution provides the abolition of the untouchability and so on, why we did not abolish it? Because our mindset is not permit us. ठीक है ना? आज भी घरों में, हमारे फैमिली में यही एजुकेशन मिलता है कि ये वो कास्ट का है, ये वो रिलीजन का है, ये वो कम्युनिटी से बिलोंग करता है, ही इज फ्रॉम दैट कम्युनिटी, ये कम्युनिटी ऐसा होता है, लाइक दैट the rumors which is that is related with the transgender is the same. What if as a father, as a mother, if I teach my child ki look, this is the, though they are the gender identity issues, but they are human beings, you should respect to this particular people as a human being, then the problem will sort out. Otherwise no. So that is the difference between the foreign countries and our countries. Sangeeta madam, I think you get my point.
Sir, what do you think about bestiality? Sir, what do you think about bestiality?
So whether it will help my thinking with the bestiality? Okay, so far my opinion is concerned, bestiality again, though it is offense, though it is prohibited, but again it is a mindset of the human being. So how the person is think in a way that I have a sex with whatever. So you just imagine it. It is a kind of, it is not a disease, it is not a psychological issue. I think it is the issue with what we call as a mindset or our thinking, our, yes, that's it.
Okay, but don't you think it's brutal?
मेरे feel करने से क्या होता है? Yes, it is brutal, it is offense, it is prohibited, it is against to the nature, it is against to the humanity. Everything is there. So, what is the use of that word? What we use, it is a brutal and this and that.
Sir, it is brutal to animals, sir. I think so.
Yes. Whether any animal can file the case against the human beings.
No, animal can't, but even if they can't file case.
If they can't, so it is my mindset. The brutality is in my thinking, brutality is in my mind, brutality is in my behavior. So I need to work on my behavior, on my thinking, on my perceptions. Getting my point?
Okay,
so it is
sir.
only the offense. So it is only the offense. If you go with the gap, if you go with the gap, so how many cases are really come to face on the records, and how many cases is actually happened? Though what we called as a brutal, what we called as an offense. But unless and until it is unless and until I change my mindset, it will not. Arya, yes. Anything else on your side?
No, sir. Thank you. No, sir. Thank you. Done.
Yes. Any more questions? Yes, those who raise the hand, that is Shivam, Apurva, Swanand, Shubha, and the Chandrakant, and the Samir. Yes, what it says, that means only the law will not help. We have to change our mindset and thinking. Yes, my dear. Otherwise, that is, see, what is the mockery? That is, we have the plethora of laws, thousands and the thousands of laws, and every day we are making the new laws. But where we are on the same platform. So the offenses are there, punishments are there, everything is there. So why the offenses is continue one? Why the offenses is not that is I just given another example. If I am not wrong, in 2012, when the Nirbhaya case was happened, afterward our law is changed. Now after changing the law, this particular kind of brutal activity is going on. So who will be responsible for that? Law is there. Law is only to rule, regulate the society. That's it. So law is made to regulate the society, and the lawbreakers are there, the law implementers are there, but it doesn't mean that once the law is made, so all sort of problem will be sorted out. No, unless and until we change ourselves, no offense will be come to an end.
Hello, sir.
So yes, ma'am, please.
Sir, my opinion is this is an our personal issue, that even though there is a subject or lesson we are taught in our education system, even there is a law conducted for this transgender people, but we personally feel that we don't allow them, or we make them awkward. That is why they don't mix up in our society. So I think if the people instead of behave, we see that they ask for money, they entertain or something, whatever, etc. Instead of doing that, if we available them, or instead of making them awkward, weird feeling, we include them in our society. So I think if they got education, proper education, so think about it, only a woman and men are developing in our country and doing many works. So if these transgender people also include in our society, and instead of asking money, if they are capable to provide employment to the people, so how great it will be for our India.
True. Yes, true. You please take the initiative and start this particular kind of activity, and of course, this particular community will thankful to you, because every moment is start from the particular person who is take the efforts. So it is a good idea, and your opinion is true. It is right. It is obvious. And I think we need to think about that. So once we need to, first of all, we need to remove the idea or the thought of hate against this particular community. Yes, you are true.
Yes, sir.
What are the impact? Yes.
It is
Yes.
maybe thought, or we have been observing from our society, we have been learned from this society. We can say it is like a brainwash, that this after watching our parents, they are ignoring, they are giving money. We are learning from that. No, if we make change, and then our future generation will also make change. If we live proper and treat them like us, like we treat females and male, if we treat them like other people, then our upcoming generation will also treat like the same. They will learn from us, right? So
Yes.
so I think
True.
this begins from the home, from ourselves. Even if there are many laws, and it is many laws and education are in education we are taught, but there is not much difference. It is from our perspective. So first of all, we
Yes.
should change our perspective towards them. Then only this
Yes.
change can come.
Yes. Now the last question that is Shivank is asking, that is, what are the impact of Transgender Person Protection Right of Act 2019 on the transgender community? मराठीत सांगू का? काही नाही, झिरो. एवढंच उत्तर आहे त्याचं. Yes, madam.
Hello, sir. Myself Shubhangi Deshmukh. Sir,
Yes.
I think that though the constitution or though the government have given the right them, but they should have to aware about that, so that we, the society, we the students of law or the common peoples, we should have to counsel them, so that we should have to make different efforts. For that aspect,
If
Yes. Considering your opinion, I just give the suggestions to at your open platform. You have the legal aid services cell, you have the NSS, you have the so many other projects and the kind of NSS and the other kind of the activity. So at least the people from the your that particular district will take benefit. So when I was in the MP Law College, so I came across with some transgender people where I take the initiative and I give them to the what we called as the legal awareness about their rights and this and that. But the thing is that when I came across with so many people, so what they told us to कि भैया खाने पीने से अगर हमें खाने पीने की अगर ये चीजें की अगर सेटिस्फैक्शन अगर हो जाए तो वी विल थिंक अबाउट दिस राइट्स. So this particular community is still that is that is starving for the foods and the shelters and the basic amenities. So this particular thing is not provided to them. So but your idea is good. Your initiative will be good. So you can start this particular activity by taking the small kind of the project or the activity, and you can make you can spread the awareness among this particular community about their rights, about their laws, and about the what the constitution says and what the another law says relating to their protections. That's a very good idea.
Thank you. But what I am saying is that not only me, from our youngsters or whatever the students of law or many persons in society, if they will take the initiative by themselves, as 60% of peoples in our society, they are educated, they are giving them whatever common behavior with themselves, with these peoples, so that among us, if some students or if some peoples can counsel them whenever they got the opportunity, whenever they get the opportunity, that time if they counsel them, then they will think about their work, their rights, and then they will improve their lives.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. So, Shilpa madam, can we conclude?
Yes.
Yes. So I don't know how much that is make an appeal to you on this particular topic. So whatever my idea, my thought, I just put forward to you, and you just think upon it and you try to cope up with this particular issue in future. And at the very outset, I am thankful to the Nandedkar madam, Dongre madam, and the Sheikh madam who invited me on this particular program and give me an opportunity to interact with you all people who are very brilliant and the vibrant youth of the upcoming Develop India so called. So thank you very much, madam. Thank you one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It was a very excellent and mind-blowing guidance, sir. A very different topic of transgender has been explained. Sir interpreted gender determination in a very interesting manner and how constitutional rights can be given to the transgender. I would like to thank and appreciate our resource person, Dr. AMOL CHAVHAN sir, for such a splendid and valuable guidance on the Constitution Day. Now, I invite Pathan Mohammad Kaif, a bright student of our college, to propose a vote of thanks.
Respected Principal, Dr. Nital Nandedkar ma'am, good afternoon. Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. AMOL CHAVHAN sir, and respected dignitaries and all the students.
Kaif.
Yes, ma'am.
You are not audible properly.
Yes, respected respected Principal, Dr. Nital Nandedkar ma'am, good afternoon. Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. AMOL CHAVHAN sir, and respected dignitaries and all the students present here. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to each one of you for joining us on the significant occasion of Constitution Day. Today, we reflect the principle and value inherent in our constitution. I would like to specially thank Dr. AMOL CHAVHAN sir, whose insightful remarks enlighten us about the profound importance of Constitution. We are grateful for the contribute. I also extend appreciate to Dr. Shilpa ma'am for organizing this event and to all the participants and volunteers who have made this event a success. May this Constitution Day serve as a reminder of our shared responsibility to safeguard the value that bind us together as a nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Kev. There is
Thank you,
always an end to every event, such as this auspicious event. I hereby declare that the virtual celebration of Constitution Day has been ended, with the hope that each one of you would behold the importance of our Constitution, respect and maintain the Constitution of India, of our nation in all situations. Thank you, one and all. Now, I would like to request all of you to turn on the mic for the national anthem, and please stand up for the national anthem.
In 2023, if you are not using AI for your creating your PowerPoints, then you are wasting 99%.
So thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chali. Bye.